You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Opening my eyes, worse than death. Yes, hello, good evening, and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. My name is Squatter, and this is podcast number 47, and that was the awesome Alien Weaponry opening up the show there with Holding My Breath. Their debut album 2 is released tomorrow, and it is an absolute belter. I've been listening to it for weeks now, and I cannot wait to see them play to a packed-out Sophie tent at Bloodstock this summer. Can you imagine everyone just bouncing around to that song? I highly recommend that you are all there and that you pick up that album tomorrow. It's called 2, which is short for Tuma Tuenya, which you have probably heard if you listen to the song Kai Tangata that we played last week. The Maori god of war, and it's out tomorrow on Napalm Records. Okay, on tonight's show, we are featuring no fewer than 3 Metal to the Masses winners since the last show. Plus, we've also got an interview with Demonic Resurrection later on, and a new feature that's been sent in by one of the Bloodstock team. But first up, let's have our first Metal to the Masses winners of the week. From the East Anglia region, it's Crawlblind, up next on Bloodstock Radio.
And now on Bloodstock Radio, a Metal to the Masses winners interview.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're back on the Metal to the Masses tour trail, and last Thursday in Norwich, the winners there were Crawlblind, and we're talking to Calvin. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm well, yeah. So, yes, you must be pleased. Has you sunk in yet? You're going to be playing at Bloodstock?
That's amazing. Now I look at it and thinking, what a while is it? It's just all it's amazing enough to be able to play good local shows, busy shows, with more people to hear your music, let alone be able to win something like this.
Well, I saw you guys play recently at Thrashosaurus in the same venue, and it is a cracking venue, the Brickmakers in Norwich, isn't it, as well? I mean, Thrashosaurus works really well in and out, but we saw the footage from the final as well, and it was absolutely rammed, wasn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. That's everything about the venue. They've got great engineers, like a stage. They work for bands. They work with bands. They're always happy to sort of push new bands and new ideas, and they're by far one of the best venues around in the local area. Yeah. They're always willing to support things like this. And Errol.
Well, yeah, obviously Errol's another little hero as well. He runs Thrashosaurus, and he's done the Metal to the Masses for us in Norwich for quite a few years now as well. Does quite a lot of his scouting at Bloodstock as well for his Thrashosaurus bands as well. So he's very supportive of the festival, and he's a cracker, and of course he's got Killer Hurts as well, which is also a fantastic band as well.
He's an amazing bloke. You can see, I don't know if you watched the video of the final, but he was on stage crying and everything. It just means the world to him. He's an amazing bloke. He's always willing to help bands. He's got the studio, and he pushes things like buys the Metal to the Masses franchise, and like you say, put on Thrashosaurus, and like we got that gig from the first team of Metal to the Masses. He was always willing to give bands who need a gig. He's just top banana, Errol. Absolute top banana.
Yeah, well, it was the first time I'd seen you guys before. I know Mr. Gamble from Soulborn as well. I've seen his band a few times there at Thrashosaurus.
Everyone seems to know Mr. Gamble. Everyone seems to know Mr. Gamble.
He's such a shy, quiet, and retiring chap. That's why. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, he never puts himself about, does he?
No, exactly. So, just rewind a little bit. Then tell us a bit about Crawlblind. Tell our listeners what sort of music you play, how many of you are in the band, and how long you've been going and stuff like that.
We're Crawlblind. We're a 5-piece metal band from Lowestoft, same place as The Darkness. We're a bit heavier, a bit more aggressive, aimed to sort of bouncy grooves, dirty riffs, sort of, I don't know, the sweetest blend of Pantera from the 90s and, I don't know, who in the modern day, the North Lane of the modern day, a bit more technical now than what we used to be. But we originally formed sort of 1997, 20 years ago, disbanded in 2003, and then got back together last year with 3 original members, and then myself and Gamble joined this year, started writing some new material. We've got a new album coming out later on this year, and we're just trying to make, music we enjoy. I hope everyone else enjoys it too, and everyone seems to be liking what we do live, energetic, don't really care what other people think, and it seems to be working. Yeah. Everyone seems to be enjoying it.
I must admit, I didn't realise that you'd been around early on, and then you come back after all that time. So that must have been quite different, because obviously the music scene's changed immensely since 2003, hasn't it?
That's crazy. I went to watch their last gig when I was 12 years old, and I had ginger hair, dyed my hair bleach blonde ginger, headbanging at the front of the stage, and then fast forward 15 years and now I'm in the band, writing the songs, ready to play at Bloodstock with them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played our first hometown show the night after the final. We had about 300 people turn up, and it's just been crazy. It's been crazy from joining the band in February to now achieving all this within 2 or 3 months. It's all a bit surreal, really.
Yeah. Have you been to Bloodstock before yourself as a punter?
I haven't been before, no. Used to go to Download a lot. Then I had a child and other things take priority.
Yeah.
But now I can't wait to go as a band playing there. And hopefully she'll be able to come and watch us also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll like it at Bloodstock, I'm sure. Even if you, it's a little bit different to Download. It's obviously a bit smaller and that lot, but it's the best place on the planet. It's the best weekend of the year, and once you've been, you're on Bloodstock time then, and you'll be counting down the minutes till next year as well.
Yeah, hopefully I won't miss a year after this one.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for talking to us about that. And we're going to play some of your music to finish off with now as well. So if you can introduce that to us, then congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you soon. So we're Crawlblind, and this is our newest song we call Parasite.
The winning band, 2018, East Anglia, Crawlblind.
Stop! This is Carl Willits.
And Scott Fairfax.
And we are from Memoriam. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio, and we are really pleased to be playing at the Bloodstock Open Air Festival 2018.
Okay, so that was our Metal to the Masses East Anglia winners Crawl Blind with the song Parasite, and I genuinely think they will be brilliant on the New Blood. As I said in that interview, I saw them recently and they are full of energy, so they are highly recommended. Stick them on your Clash Finder, folks. Okay, we'll be back with Metal to the Masses later in the show, but next up, the Indian band Demonic Resurrection were over here in the UK recently, and I managed to finally meet up with their frontman Sahil, so let's have a listen to that on Bloodstock Radio.
The big interview.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're having a chat with Sahil from Demonic Resurrection. How are you, sir?
I am doing very well. Thank you for having me back once again.
Well, yeah, it's nice to actually meet you face to face because we were a long way away when we spoke last year. So, so we're here in salubrious Peterborough, the lovely Peterborough.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you over here in the UK. I think it was last March, just when the Shavatar came out that we spoke to you last year. Podcast number 6, if any of you want to check up, because I'm not going to go over old ground. I'm not going to repeat everything that we spoke about playing Bloodstock and everything. So just basically give us an update on what's gone on with Demonic Resurrection since then, really. So
sure, the album went really well. I mean, we got a great response from all the fans that listened to it. Pretty much most of the reviews were positive. I think the reception was good. As far as I know, I think everything positive so far. We did a couple of videos for songs and those went really well, and now here we are in the UK touring away. Did a couple of shows in India as well, whatever we could string together. And we've just been keeping busy.
Yeah, and how's it been in the UK so far?
So far 4 shows down, I would say pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I realize that we're still a band that most people don't know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is hard to tour in the UK, and, getting any people to show up is a good thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been really happy with the response so far in the UK, you know.
Yeah.
People here are really passionate about the metal, and they're always open to listening to new bands and going ahead and supporting those bands, you know. Not just showing up for the gig, but, you know, coming and chatting up with us and buying merch and just in general being awesome.
Yeah. Good. Well, so I think you were in Plymouth last night, and if you got a good crowd in Plymouth on a Monday, you must be doing something, right?
Yeah, so I mean, Monday night Plymouth, I was told if you get people to show up, it's a good thing. So I was quite pleased with the crowd turnout, and of course it's an enthusiastic crowd, so it's always fun to play.
Yeah, and you got the Wretched Soul guys with you as well. They're fairly well known, so they should be drawing in a few numbers for you as well. Getting on okay with those guys as well, yeah?
Yeah, they're absolute sweethearts. They're like the nicest bunch of dudes I've ever met.
They are really nice guys, as Scott said. They are lovely. I've chatted to them a few times, and we've had them at Bloodstock as well, and good lads. So I'm glad it's going well. So big picture wise then, we had a little bit of an announcement a little while ago, which was a bit devastating for quite a lot of us that are into the band, because you're thinking of calling it a day, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
thinking of or doing it. Where are we at with it at the moment?
Well, to be really honest, I am going to just vanish after this, unless Stephen books us a European tour. Stephen is our booking agent from Artillery Global, and if he does book us a Europe tour, we'll definitely do that, because that's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I have wasted many years waiting on many agents who have failed me. So I'm hoping that can come to fruition, but otherwise, I do plan to vanish. The thing is, when you take a break or whatever, if you don't work on something, sometimes it reaches a point where it doesn't come back. Especially in today's music climate, you know, even if you don't tour like the UK for a year or 2 years, people will forget you. Unless you're constantly there and in their Facebook feed or on their YouTube homepage or something. So I don't know, I think it would be too optimistic for me to say I'm going to take a break and come back. I'd rather just end it here and now, and we'll see where life takes me. If it has to come back someday, maybe, because it's in a weird place now. It's just me and Viru in the band. Viru is the drummer. And I don't know, it's an odd space to be in as well,
Yeah.
I don't particularly feel very creative right now as well, and I think Dash Avatar is a nice note to perhaps leave it on as well.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, you say about how hard it is to get out there and all, but I think, that in a couple of years that I've known you and known Demonic Resurrection, you are very, very vocal and very visible, and you're constantly promoting your stuff and your YouTube channels, and obviously you've got your other bits and bobs going on with your own Demon Stealers stuff and your Headbangers Kitchen and things like that. But I'd say that from a promotional point of view, you're doing pretty much as anyone, so but even if that's still not getting you where you need to be, then you can sort of understand it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the music industry has really, like I said, over the years changed, and I think my biggest thing is that it's I don't mind the struggle, I don't mind the hard work. It's just that when you reach somewhere and then you're still struggling at the same thing you were 5 years ago, that is a problem. There's something not working there. And even with touring today, I mean, just to get to Europe or the UK is so expensive for us. It's not like we're playing dozens of shows back home and making tons of money, because the scene in India is failing as well in some ways. It's become very competitive. I think I would say things have scaled down back home. And again, that's a lot to do with so many factors. I mean, I write a book on all this stuff, but let's just say, it's a difficult music climate to be in right now. And I mean, some bands are going to make it, and some bands, I guess, will just,
It's an odd one for me, because obviously I don't really know the Indian metal scene other than what I spoke to you about last year and that. But we've tried to branch out a little bit this year on Bloodstock Radio. We've had some Lebanese bands on, Syrian bands. We've also got a band coming up from New Zealand to play Bloodstock that we're going to have on the show soon, called Alien Weaponry. These really young lads. They're like, I think 3 of them all under 18.
Oh wow!
They are coming over to play Vakken and Metal Days and Bloodstock and everything.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, they're going to be doing really well. So the global metal scene, I suppose, as you say, I don't know of any other New Zealand metal bands really. So they're sort of the one, and I don't know of any other Indian metal bands than you guys. So I suppose it sort of depends on your locale as to what's going on.
Yeah, and I guess the world is rather large, so even bands, I think, have to in some way select their markets as such, like for DR, the UK has always been kind of where we've set up shop, so to speak, with the whole it kicking off with winning the Golden God in 2010 and signing to Candlelight that year, and then getting booked for Sonosphere, Bloodstock, and it just seemed to happen. And there are other Indian bands, like there's a band called Cryptos from India, who are well known in Germany. Like, I don't know if anyone if too many people in the UK know about them, but they're huge in Germany in comparison. Because they've constantly focused on the German market, because they play like an old school heavy thrash metal. And Germany has always been like their home base. Similarly, there is a death grind band called Gutslit in Bombay as well, who have kind of been working around the Czech Republic scene, because there's a lot of death grind there with the Obscene Extreme Festival, and they've sort of managed to, that's their kind of base, so that's the thing. Bands figure out where they want to start from and then try and build it up from there.
I think looking at that, when you mention things like the Metal Gods and having come over and that sort of thing, if it was all to end tomorrow, and if you were to be like that, then I know you're probably disheartened about it actually ending, but you've still got quite a lot of milestones and quite a lot of big things that you've actually done. There's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't discredit anything that the band has managed to achieve so far. Doing anything for 18 years non-stop for me is anyway like, that was something I'm quite proud of, I will never look back and say, we didn't do anything at all. We did what we could do, and it got us where it could get us.
Well, I wasn't at Bloodstock when you were here last time, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play tonight. So
awesome.
It should be good fun. And I love Dash Avatar. It's a great album.
Thank you so much.
I listen to it quite a lot. I have it in the car on a lot. So well, it's going to be great to see you. But I hope you don't disappear, and I hope you come back. And even if you do finish up the band, I hope you come over to England to see us a couple of times and come and visit Bloodstock. I'm sure you'd be very welcome if you wanted to come over as a guest sometime. So
I'd love to.
Okay, cool. Well, pick a song from this Shavatar for us to play out on, and we'll finish with that. And thanks for talking to us, mate.
My pleasure. And let me see. I would like you to play the song Varaha, the boar.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, cheers for talking to us.
Thanks. Cheers.
This is Cy Keeler from Onslaught. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, indeed. Some sad news from Demonic Resurrection there, but we will see what happens on that one. And, of course, we'll keep you posted on any developments. Okay, the remainder of the show is devoted to 2 more of our Metal to the Masses winners, but before that, I will just let you know of our upcoming finals. So tomorrow night, I'll be down the road here at Club 85 for the Hitchin final, and I think that's with Mr. Hall, while at the same time, Mr. Bannister will be judging up in Stoke, in a club called the Underground. Then on Saturday, we have the Burnley final up in the fantastic Sanctuary venue. And if any of you are tuning in from Norway, then their final is taking place in Sandnes at the Tribute Club. And I do believe that I actually know of a punter that is going over from the UK just for that final. Such is the power of Metal to the Masses and Bloodstock. And while I'm on that subject, I will also warn you that the Bloodstock directors are now out in force, issuing repeated warnings that Bloodstock Festival 2018 is going to sell out. So make sure that you do not miss out, get your tickets soon, and join us at Catton Park this summer. Okay, so let's hear from these 2 Metal to the Masses regions then. First up, we've got Leicester, then we've got Milton Keynes, and plus, sandwiched in the middle there, we've got a nice, funny little new feature for you. So check that out right here on Bloodstock Radio.
And now on Bloodstock Radio. A Bloodstock Metal to the Masses tour update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're having a chat to the winners of the Leicester Metal to the Masses last weekend. It's Mark from Seven Hells. How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Squat, yourself?
I'm very well. Yes, just about recovered from that whole weekend at Uprising. It was a little bit of a session over the weekend, but it was all good fun. And you guys must be delighted. Are you still buzzing from it?
Yeah, we're all buzzing. Apart from me, I've kind of gone on to freak control mode at the moment to make sure that everything we produce at Bloodstock is there. We want to go and show everybody what we're about and organise everything. So at the moment, stressing out of what's going backstage. So
yeah,
a few more weeks and I'll be back to the buzz stage again, and then I'll be raring to go.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about your band then, Seven Hells. What sort of music do you play, and what sort of thing can the Bloodstock punters look forward to seeing?
Seven Hells has been around 2 years now. I've personally, as the vocalist, I've only been in it just a year. They got to the semi-finals last year. They got me involved. We started just writing tighter and getting this sound that people have just got to hear, because it's different to what a lot of the other scenes doing. We're not a generic metalcore band, we're not a generic thrash band. We've just got this collaboration of chaos, but aggressive chaos and constructive, where it keeps people interested.
Well, it was definitely a big performance, and it was a bloody big stage as well, wasn't it? It was at De Montfort Hall as part of the Uprising Festival on Saturday night. So how did you guys counter that? Because that must be daunting for an unsigned band to be going on a huge stage like that.
It is daunting for an unsigned band, and especially with the rest of the lads. That this is their first ever proper band, so that's actually doing and being noticed for the of work what we're producing. For me, I've been on stages before with the O2 Academies, but like with the past bands and with this current band, it's very apparent that I need space. So for myself, it was like a big playground. I can release that energy and just throw everything at it. Where the lads just fed off my energy and just went with it, and then it just worked so well. So it was daunting for them at the beginning, but when they got on there was no stopping them at all.
Yeah. Okay, so any bands that are out there sort of listening to this and sort of thinking, we might do Metal to the Masses next year, what would your advice be to them, and what sort of things can it bring, other than obviously the obvious thing of trying to get to Bloodstock?
Well, yeah, the main goal for anybody that's entering Metal to the Masses, and it's is the end goal to get to Bloodstock, and it's the massive platform for any new breed band to get. It's also an opportunity to network with bands. As you say, Simon Yarwood, when I first met him, was through with my last band, and we got to the final with him with my last band, and we've become really good friends. And not only that, a tight network of other bands like Internal Conflict, Getica, Evil Scarecrow. You know, these bands we've like worked alongside with, and you know, and these bands are now progressing balls deep. They didn't win Metal to the Masses, but they got the opportunity to play Bloodstock, and Bloodstock thrived off it when they were on the Jaeger stage, and then next minute, boom, they're on Sophie, and they just decimated that stage, and look where they're getting. So yeah, every band, just like, you don't have to be a purely metal band, you just got to have some balls and charisma to like just get out there and show people what you're made of, and just introduce something new to them. Don't be scared to experiment. That's what I would say to bands now. Just experiment and just get your music out there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the heats at Leicester are held in a variety of different venues. The scene in Leicester seems to be quite going quite well at the moment. Obviously, we had Uprising there at the weekend. There's quite a few local bands that played in that as well. So yeah, what's your view of the scene overall around there?
The Leicester scene is colourful, very colourful. There's a diverse, you know. At the end of the day, you got bands like Temple of Lies and Internal Conflict. As I say, that band for me is just like the best British metalcore band that do it right, you know, and they give so much energy. And Blood Oath, another band, you know, I'm not really into the black metal or the kind of darker really stuff, but they pull that stuff off, and I respect that band immensely because they're just doing what they love doing. And to be perfectly honest, they converted me to actually start liking that genre. So there was just so many weird and wonderful bands. Resin's from Leicester, you know, and they've played 3 times in the space of 2 years. So yeah, Leicester's got a good scene, definitely.
Yeah, so you got the variety, and there was obviously Blood Oath for the winners in there at Leicester last year, and Internal Conflict played at Bloodstock last year as well. And I have to give a shout out to them for this weekend because they've had a bit of a break, and they've got a new drummer, Chris Bentley, and oh my God, what a performance! If you see Internal Conflict gigging near you guys, then get out there and watch them, because honest to God, they were so good at the weekend.
Totally, and the thing is, like, if you saw Internal Conflict with the last lineup, they were good. They were really good, but the performance they did on Sunday, oh my God, it was just a complete wall of chaos, and it's just like, fair play to you guys, you've done really well.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Well, yeah, thanks for talking to us. We'll play out with some of your music. Your final opportunity to sell yourself to all the Bloodstock punters out there, because you never know, the look of the draw might see you playing when there's a huge band on the main stage. So tell our listeners why you think that they should mark you firmly on their Clash Finders and make sure that they're in the New Blood tent to catch your set.
If you like metal and you like to have diversity and something which is a bit creative and it's got themes to it, but it's not a gimmick, it's more of a direction of a post-apocalyptic world, then if you want pure speed, aggression, come to that New Blood stage, because you'll definitely not want to miss us. We'll be the biggest talk band on that stage, I guarantee it. And trust me, we are not stopping just at Bloodstock either.
Excellent. Sounds good. Okay, so what song are we going to hear? And you can introduce it for us. And cheers for talking to us, and congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much. This is one of the tracks off our coming EP. It's off the Prologue EP, which is coming out in August, and this is Resist.
Appearing on the New Blood stage is going to be... And it's not Blood Oath either, but it's going to be Seven Hells! Let's have the guys up on stage, please!
This is 1, 2 around our fucking minds. We will not be controlled by the higher class that stand down watching these drinkers of the wars that force will make resistance, which we will call the bullshit out. Why? I can't just lie and watch this world crumble by with all this tension that has friends away, fuck away, and make this world collide. Daylight from the beginning to conquer him. It's time for resistance that we will take back control. Yeah. Why did we have to serve? Now we will resist. We will not take the bullshit vision. We'll make sure right by. We will resist the temptations that they face. We will resist the temptations that they face. We will resist the temptations that they fight. 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 We will resist the temptations they fight.
Hey up, this is Animal, the New Blood Stage resident drum tech, and I'm going to be teaching you the alternative meanings to some English words. Lieutenant, a lodger in your bathroom. Pretext, the time before mobile phones. Biathlete, a gender-curious sportsman. Amsterdam, a river blocked with furry animals. Propane, to enjoy masochism. Prevent, that stomach rumble before a big fart. Quick, the noise a South African duck makes. Herpes, what the wife has with her meat. Lactose, to have wonky feet. Lactose intolerant, to hate people with wonky feet. Hamstring, underwear for pigs.
Metal to the Masses update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we are talking to the next of our Metal to the Masses winners, and this time we're heading off to Milton Keynes. We're having a chat to Marcin from Ashbourne. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
So, yeah, you guys won at the weekend last Saturday night at the Crawford Arms. I was hoping to be there, but unfortunately we had two on the same night, so I was over in Leicester at their final. But, yeah, you must still be buzzing from it, yeah?
Oh, yeah, we're still buzzing. We played 2 gigs in this band, Ashbourne, before coming into Metal to the Masses.
Yeah, okay.
So with the Heat semi-final and final, at least we played 5 gigs so far in this band. That's why and one of our plans was obviously try to get to Bloodstock, but now we're there. So absolutely, we're so happy about it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Ashbourne. What type of music do you play, and how long have you been going for, and that sort of thing?
At Ashbourne, our guitarist, Mitek, is from Birmingham. He tried, we're all Polish anyway, we're a Polish band, but all based in, obviously, we all live in UK, in England.
Yeah.
He tried to organize this Ashbourne band for about 3 years, taking so many musicians in and out. But then finally last year, they asked me to come and have a practice with them, which I did, I think in May last year. And then finally the last member of our band joined from my previous band, Die Reverse, Martin Ozzy, the drummer.
Okay.
In late November, literally just before we entered the studio to record 2 tracks with Neil Hudson in Initiate Audio Media.
Yeah, I know Neil very well from his Crystal days, and I've been over to the studio there as well. So yeah, good mate of mine, and he did a great job with it as well. I've just been listening to it earlier.
Yeah, definitely. We, like I said, we entered the studio and literally recorded 2 tracks, so we've got something to show to the people. And then, like I said, there's 4 of us now, 2 of them from Birmingham, guitarist and the bassist Peter, and then me and Ozzy from Northampton. Our music, we just call it metal. It's just heavy. It's just got to be heavy, something that we like. We don't, I would say, a little bit of groove, hardcore, probably a little bit of death metal into it. Our guitarist is ex-death metal guitarist from Poland, a band called The Ghost.
Okay.
They've been going for in like early 90s in Poland very well. Actually, they play a few big festivals.
Okay.
So I would say just metal, really, just heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have a listen to some of your music at the end of the interview. So tell us a little bit about the Metal to the Masses process and that lot, and how did you find the way the competition was run, and obviously the venue, the Crawford Arms. I go to loads of gigs at Crawford. I think it's a cracking little venue. But how did it go for you throughout?
All was absolutely fine. We went to a Heat. The reason we went to Milton Keynes actually because someone might ask, why did you do one in Milton Keynes instead of Birmingham or Northampton? Because it was just the dates. We couldn't do any of the semi-finals in Northamptonshire because I'm away and the drummer is away.
Okay.
Drummer actually left yesterday for the holiday. That's why I spoke to Sky and he said, you might have a look on the dates in Milton Keynes. So we've applied for that one. We went to the Heat 5, I believe. And then we were picked by the judges.
Yeah.
We played a really good gig. We were quite happy with ourselves. Then we went to semi-finals. As far as I know, we won by judges and the crowd.
Yeah.
Which was like, we're in the final now, you know what I mean, guys? We've got a massive chance to actually go to Bloodstock. So let's just go on the stage and do what we can do the best. Just leave ourselves on the stage.
Yeah. And I've seen the video footage of when Simon announced that you guys were going, and it's fair to say that you were quite excited, yeah?
Yeah, like I said, because we're together, and it's pretty much in this squad with this drummer from November. So we're talking about 6-7 months now.
Yeah.
Obviously, all of us have got some experience from previous bands. Some of our boys still got some bands on the side of it. But, one of the plans for this year was try to get to Bloodstock, and we're actually there. So happy, absolutely so happy with it.
Brilliant. Have you guys been to Bloodstock before as punters?
No, I don't think any of us have.
Okay, cool. Well, you'll have a good time there, I'm sure. So obviously you won't know when you're playing yet. They'll move things around and that lot. But the one thing I would say to you is make sure that you when you find out where you're playing, try and let people know, because obviously it's the New Blood stage, and it's people are mainly there to see their headliners and all that sort of thing. Although you do get a lot of people that spend all weekend in the New Blood tent. That's their sort of thing. So. I would advise you to basically, try and think of some sort of marketing ploy of somewhere getting your name out there. I heard of a band last week that are doing hand stamps. I actually got a hand stamp printed. So rather than giving out flyers and stuff like that, which you're not really supposed to do at Bloodstock, they don't really encourage people because obviously they just get thrown on the floor. But I've seen people giving out CDs. I've seen people giving out lanyards and things like that. But yeah, I heard the other day of a hand stamp, which is quite a good one as well. You've got your band name and the time and day you're going to be playing on, and just literally stamping people's hands around the campsite. So that's quite a good idea.
Yeah, I think about it. We thought about it actually, CDs. We might do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a massive chance for us. There's a lot of people who's like, who is the Ashbourne? I never heard of them. They play like 1 or 2 gigs, and then literally, then they're playing Bloodstock. They're winners of the Metal to the Masses.
Yeah.
And then, according to a lot of people, the feedback we get from loads of people at the gig, I'll say after the gig, and a couple of days, even until now, I still get messages from people I don't know, and they're saying, that we were really good, which is so nice for us. It pushes to work even harder with our music. But it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. As I said, so many people will probably be surprised who is the Ashbourne. I might go and see them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the Metal to the Masses. So, I mean, it is mainly, bands that people have never really heard of before, because that's the whole point of it. It's all about pushing the emerging bands, giving them that platform to actually prove themselves and that lot. And I've been to loads of Metal to the Masses finals. The reason that I do this is because I have no musical ability whatsoever. So I'm not looking for who's the best guitarist or who's the best drummer. I'm just looking for, can I pick up that performance and put it onto the New Blood stage, and is that going to work at Bloodstock? So, that's what the judges are looking for. That's what Simon and Rob and everyone that does the thing are looking for. You're looking for festival-ready bands that are going to work on the New Blood. And certainly, having heard your music and having seen some of your live footage on your videos there as well, I think you guys will go down really well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we do our best. We'll do our best, definitely.
Yeah,
cool. No one will be disappointed.
Yeah, cool. So, I'll just also mention as well the song that we're going to hear, Every Word. You also had a lyric video done by my good friend Andy Pilkington at Very Metal Art, yeah? Yeah, I'm so happy working with Andy as well. What we try and do in Ashbourne, we've learned something in the previous bands. We just try pretty much do everything as best as we can. Yeah. That's why we record with Neil. I always wanted to record with Neil. My previous band never worked that before. I'm so happy. Same with Andy. Andy's been recommended to me by many people I know. That's why I'm so happy I've managed to get a video from Andy. We're definitely going to get some more in the future. Yeah. And now we're working with you, at the Bloodstock. Yeah, all good, cool. Well, great. Well, congratulations and thanks for talking to us. And you can introduce that song for us, and we'll see you at Bloodstock in August. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for the conversation. All right, hi everyone. It's Martin, vocalist from Ashbourne. I'm going to introduce you to our song Every Word at the Bloodstock Radio. Enjoy and come to see us at the Bloodstock new stage. Thank you.
2018 Metal to the Masses is Ashbourne. Yeah!
Another sun, yes. People
fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.